just sitting here taking that in, I think you're right. And again, I want to be clear. It's not that your decisions are always right. It's you make them with convictions, and you are humble enough to pivot change as you're collecting real-time information.
Yep.
It's that combination, right? I've known some people who make pretty quick decisions and then they hit a roadblock and they sit down. Well, that's not helpful. Like, okay, you're going to do a 100-meter dash. You're going to start at, 20 meters or 20 yards, but then you get to the 50-meter and you get a cramp. You sit down, you never finish, right? It's that combination of quick decision, consume information, consume the proof of concept in real time. And, it's not a straight line. You've seen those graphs about what people think success is. It's a straight line and it's all these little squiggly things. It doesn't bother you. You just keep moving forward. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. And for everybody that's watching this, you're watching this right now. It's frequently, actually, I'm frequently wrong, almost always wrong.
And you're okay with it. You don't beat yourself up.
Yeah. But some of the decision is right. Like some of the hypothesis, this like educated guess that I make before I go is like, some of that is right. But part of going is like figuring out what's right and wrong. And then, like you said, iterating it. Naval Ravikant said this, there's like this quote, Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule. You've heard of this probably, this 10,000 hours, takes 10,000 hours to get to mastery. Naval Ravikant said something that I really love. He said, it's not 10,000 hours, it's 10,000 iterations. And so when I heard that, I was like, man, that's it. Like, I really feel like you got to iterate over and over and over again. And so most people, it's just like, how do we just take the first step? So hopefully some encouragement today of, like, I'm frequently wrong, actually, almost always somewhat wrong about what I think is going to happen. But that's like, you have to gather new information. Otherwise, you're just spinning your wheels. And that's where most people get stuck.
Yeah. And again, there's nothing like getting started and actually having real facts as opposed to opinions, right? A lot of people get started and then they create a decision tree and it's all opinions. It's not real life. And usually it's something that's not even on the list. And, getting to proof of concept and being okay being wrong, but going fast, it is definitely your superpower. I think you've found it. So let's give some people four examples, right? Let's go back to Bill Allen, not the real estate investor. What were you doing? What was the itch that you had to scratch to make that first decision? Where was Bill in his life then?
You like go back before real estate?
Yeah, what were you doing?
I was flying airplanes and helicopters for the Navy. So I went to flight school and started learning how to fly aircraft. And I think that's really where I got my, in school, I was a mechanical engineer. I got an aeronautical engineering master's degree before flight school. Some of that, like schooling, like high level schooling and advanced education, there's a little bit of that, but not a lot. In aviation, that was it. Like decision-making in aviation, that's like life or death type decisions.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of my training came from. It's not just book work and studying, it's actually like practicing and doing. So simulation, question and answer with instructors, actually put yourself in scenario-based training, like different scenarios that you would go through on the ground. Practice. I would be sitting in a chair and like practicing the motions that I would have to go through and verbalizing and thinking through things. And then we would like play ping pong and try to recite emergency procedures, like the aircraft caught on fire, try to hit a ping pong ball. So like this kind of like practice and repetition and stuff like that was very much part of my life for like 20, I don't know, at least 15 years before I got into real estate. So I was punching a clock. I was a W-2 employee for the government, getting deployed, moving every 9 to 12 months, pretty much. I moved 18 times in the last 20 years. So that was my life. And I think that helped too. Helped too. You're moving around to different places. You're getting used to change. I didn't live in one house for 20 years. I didn't have one job. I moved around. I had to meet new people. I had to be in uncomfortable situations. I had to do a lot of that stuff. Pack up my whole house, come up with like solving more complex problems of, do I get a mover to come in? Do I move myself? How much more money am I going to make? All this stuff.
Yeah.